Here's a very simple recipe. This is a great recipe for people on a budget. Um, you don't have a ton of money to buy things like find a someone flows aqua, blue green algae, etc. Um, move my computer here really quick. Damn it. Okay, better. Um, if you're interested, I'm not gonna make this video long. I could, but I don't really want to. I don't have a lot of time right now, but eventually I will make a lengthy 1 or 2 hour, 3 hour, or even 4 hour video on the health benefits of cayenne pepper, etc. But to get to the recipe, all you need is clean filtered water. This is distilled water that I distill at home out with my distiller. It takes about 4.5 hours to make a gallon, and this is, in my opinion, the cleanest, best water on the planet. But if you don't have money for filtered water, just use tap water, you know. Or if you don't have money for a distiller, get yourself one of those cheap Brita filters with that carbon filter in it. Running your water through carbon will remove large traces of junk, but it won't remove enough for me to consider it to be healthy water. But it's healthier water, and if you all you can afford is a $25 Brita filter, fucking go for it, man. That is great compared to the tap. Remember, the tap's full of fluorine, arsenic, all sorts of. They found radioactive elements in the tap water, parasites, etc. So, you know, I always say this, and before I make this recipe, I'm going to rant a little bit. Um, the greatest way, people always often ask me, excuse me, what is a great way for me to begin walking down the road of health, you know, and herbalism, etc. And, you know, my answer will always remain the same. Replace your water first. Don't worry about becoming a raw foodist. Don't worry about becoming a vegan. Relax a little bit and change your water. Get on clean water. Remember, many of the constituents found in the tap water have been proven to lodge themselves in the body. They'll literally clog a sink, excuse me. If it can clog a sink and inhibit the fucking water flow from, you know, to flow out of the faucet, what do you think that's doing to your body? If you could look at what I distill out of 1 gallon, and I have videos, if you haven't seen my videos, check them out, my distiller videos, and I'm going to make more. If you could see what I pull out of 1 gallon, it is so disgusting, and that is all shit that you have to filter with your body. Remember, I love the old phrase, if you don't filter your water, you become the fucking filter. And you know, by drinking tap water, all you're doing is putting strain on your body, because your body now has to break apart these elements, filter them, push them through the eliminative channels, etc. So get the fuck off dirty water. But again, if you don't have anything else, you know, just, you know, use tap until you can get something else. Again, this is distilled water. Let's see how much I have here. Okay, I have exactly a cup in here. Once one little sip and it'll be a cup. Distilled water is so clean. It is so removed from all the impurities that were put there by the fucking water company to literally make you a dumb fuck. It is so clean. It's sweet almost. It has a sweet taste. Remember, if you take a glass of distilled water, preferably not store-bought distilled water that has been in a BPA fucking bottle for months. Distill some water, a cup, and then get a fucking cup of water out of your fridge or your faucet, etc., and taste the difference. I can't drink tap water now that I've been off of it for so long without tasting all the it tastes metallic. I can smell chlorine. It tastes heavy, and it is heavy, predicated upon all the impurities that are in the tap water. So, again, I have probably I think 2 or 3 hours on distilled water on my YouTube channels, just videos about it. So check it out. You can get a cheap distiller. I have a $200 distiller. Works perfect. You know, you don't have to get a $4,000 distiller to fucking begin distilling your water. So, I got off on a little tangent here, but it's important that I bring these things up. Here we go. If you want to know the health benefits of cayenne pepper, get this book. I believe you probably get this for a penny on Amazon, $3.99 to ship. Incredible book. Left for Dead by Dick Quinn, a true story. After my heart attack and failed bypass, I saved my life and beat heart disease without drugs. You can too. Such a good book. You'll also learn about the corruption in the FDA in this book. Ooh, it's funny, right when I said that. The FDA. The Fraud and Death Administration? I mean, get this book, man. Cayenne pepper, essentially, little story before we make the recipe. In fact, let's make the recipe really quick, and then we'll drink. So, or then we'll rant. Excuse me. See if I could probably make this 10 minutes, but who knows? Fuck, I said I wasn't gonna make this long, but it'll probably end up being 20 minutes or so. Cayenne pepper, you know, you can get cayenne pepper for as cheap as $4, probably less for a bottle. If you live in Walnut Creek or Concord, Pleasant Hill, Martinez, go to Harvest House in Concord, across the street from Costco, and go get yourself an ounce of cayenne pepper. It'll cost you like $1, probably not even that. This is just generic cayenne from Whole Foods. It's probably got a 20 or 15 to 20,000 heat unit count. The hotter the cayenne, the better it is for you, in my opinion. But the hotter the cayenne, you have to be careful that you don't drink too much or eat too much, because it'll really burn your fucking system. And that's when cayenne pepper can get a little dangerous. You have to use it properly. So if you've never used cayenne pepper before, go get some fucking of this. Now, from my studies, what I've read is that many of the cayenne peppers on the market in the mainstream supermarkets are cooked. They cook the cayenne pepper and make it into a brick. And then once they make it into a brick, they break it apart and it becomes a powder. Excuse me one moment. Okay, so again, if you study enzymes, you'll understand the heat theory. When you cook things, they lose enzymes, etc. They lose some nutritional properties. Again, Carillion photography will prove this. But I've found that even the cooked stuff, and I'm not sure if this is cooked, but it doesn't specify that it's raw. And I've been eating cayenne pepper for years. And I've realized that even the stuff, the cooked stuff, if this is cooked, I don't know, but a lot of the stuff that I have bought before has been cooked, it still works. It still has capsaicin in it. Capsaicin is the healing element within the cayenne pepper, within the pepper kingdom, habaneros, etc. Peppers are a very interesting thing to add to your diet, to your health regimen, etc. Man, like I was saying earlier, or I didn't tell you, but my dad, for some reason, bought this book. A friend had recommended it to him years ago, and he got it in the mail, and he never read it, and it just sat on the coffee table for a long time. And then one night I was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna read this shit," and I started reading it. And this is one of the things that got me really into health. This book. It got me interested in herbs. It got me interested in herbalism. It got me interested in cayenne peppers and all these different things. And it was really a gate opener to the world of health, at least for me. So you may want to check that book out. Okay, so we have our cayenne pepper, and there are, or I didn't say this yet, but there are companies where you can buy raw cayenne pepper that is ground up. I use both. So I have a teaspoon here. I have my distilled water. About it, teaspoon, a little more, If this is your first time, start off with a 1/4 teaspoon. See how your body reacts to the heat. You can even start out with half of a 1/4 teaspoon and work your way up. I personally will use sometimes a tablespoon, but for this video I'm just gonna use a teaspoon, and it'll break apart, and you know. The best way to consume this is not to consume it immediately. Let it sit for like an hour or two, if you can wait that long, or even overnight. Because as the cayenne pepper soaks in the water softens the little pieces of the pepper, and the oils and all the healing elements begin to leach out of it. Another great way to make this, and I recommend this heavily over, I recommend both methods, but this method you're going to pull more nutritive qualities out of the cayenne pepper. Get some distilled water and just put it on the stove and lightly warm it. You don't want it to be boiling. Just lightly warm it, and then put your cayenne pepper in there. Put a lid on the jar. Just put a lid on your jar and let it sit until it cools. And that you're making cayenne tea essentially. That rhymed. And that is a great way to consume cayenne pepper. But regardless, just consume it, man. What was I going to say? This is just like the basic potion. Just clean water and cayenne pepper. Now to make a more advanced potion, you could put a teaspoon of turmeric in here as well. In fact, I'm going to go grab some turmeric and do that. I wish I could afford medicinal grade turmeric. Everyone says turmeric. It's got a fucking R in it. Turmeric. Is the R silent? I don't know. Seems like everyone I meet calls it turmeric. It's like, what the fuck is turmeric? Turmeric. Whatever. And again, a teaspoon of your turmeric. Nice yellow color. And I'm using just this basic, I think this is a Safeway version. Turmeric. And this is cheap compared to the $120 for 8-ounce version of medicinal grade, but you do what you can. So then, put your turmeric in there. Look at that. It looks cool. Breaks apart. Give it a little stir. This will actually make the cayenne pepper taste a little bit better. The turmeric tastes better, in my opinion, than the cayenne pepper. This is going to taste kind of like mustard when you're done with it. And if you can, again, let it sit for 2 hours or overnight. Okay, so this is the more advanced potion. To make it even more advanced, you could throw in a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. To make an even more advanced potion, you could then squeeze the juice of 1 lemon in here, or a lime, or an orange, or 2 lemons, etc. And that's usually how I drink it. I also sometimes throw Soleil salt in here, which is made with Himalayan salt, where you soak Himalayan salt and you're left with a mineral solution. Put a couple drops in there, you don't need a lot. So there you have it. Health on a budget. This is another cayenne pepper I use. Cheap. I try to get the raw stuff when I can afford it, but this is all I can afford right now, so I do what I can. I'm not going to not do something just because it's the cheaper version. You got to always be stimulated by health. You can't fucking, let yourself go. Which I've done plenty of times, I've gone months with eating hella good and then go back and I'll eat standard American vegetarian. But it doesn't matter. I always get back on track. You're going to have ups and downs going through this journey. At least I have. And, it's almost a test from the source, God, that you really want this, then you're going to have to keep going at it. This is a patience game. Regenerating this body back to proper homeostasis with Kundalini, etc. is not just an overnight fucking thing. So, always stay on track, and if you do fuck up, don't beat yourself up. Understand that we make mistakes, dust yourself off, and approach it even fucking better. Learn from your mistakes. Don't dwell on them. That's what a martyr does. A martyr. Okay, so we have our potion. And here we go. I was going to say, I think this turmeric, I think we got 2 of these for like $7. It was like a buy one, get one free deal. But I think this is usually about $5 to $7. And again, if you live in Concord, California, or you live near Concord, California, you can buy their turmeric for like $1 a fucking ounce. So if you're even on a bit tighter budget, go there and get some, man. And you know, this was probably $5. And again, you can get this stuff much cheaper at Harvest House because you don't have to buy it pre-bottled. You can buy it loose. You can just put it in bags and buy it by the ounce. You can weigh it out. You don't even have to buy an ounce. If all you got is fucking $10 in your goddamn bank account, you can go there with $3 and hook yourself up and have a fucking week or 3-week supply, depending on how much you use. The turmeric isn't hot like the cayenne, so put a teaspoon or more in your cayenne potion. And again, I prefer it with lemon. The more minerals I can get in my body, the better. So I throw lemon in there. Sometimes I throw fulvic acid in there, limes, oranges, whatever you got. Excuse me. So before you drink this, you're gonna want to stir it a little bit, and you're gonna want to drink it right after you stir it, because the cayenne and the turmeric have a tendency to float to the or sink to the bottom. Excuse me. So, cup. Cheers. Woo! Yum. It burns a little bit, but it's a good burn. Now, Dick doesn't mention this in his volume Left for Dead, but there's another book. I can't remember the author. I'd look it up right now, but on the world's slowest fucking computer. I'll find out that book and I'll put the link down below if I remember. The reason why I swished it in my mouth like that instead of just slamming it, I did slam the first half. Then I held the last big gulp in my mouth and swished it. In the book that I can't remember that I'm talking about, I believe it was a doctor. I believe he was a doctor. Gotta remember this book. He said that the best way that cayenne works is if you let it stay on your tongue for a good amount of time. Swish it. Because there's relay centers on the tongue, and when the cayenne pepper or the capsaicin and all the other healing elements hit the tongue, it sends signals through the tongue to the proper parts of the anatomy that need to be fixed. This is kind of getting into Chinese medicine and their philosophies, as well as the philosophies of Dr. Norman Walker, etc. But the tongue really does have a connection to the rest of the body. Remember, the body is connected. All of it is connected. It's all one entire system. The medical matrix paradigm wants you to think that the body is just all these little isolated parts. And while the body does have separate parts, they're all together. They all work as one. It is one giant filter, one giant bundle of sacred geometry, essentially. This body is sacred geometry, whether you know that or not. It is formulated, it is made out of sacred geometry. But it is one entire system working together, and the tongue has an intimate connection with the rest of the anatomy. So by putting the cayenne pepper on the tip of your tongue, or not on the tip, if you're drinking it, swish it around for a while. I can feel my heart has this, it's not a burn, it's like a warming sensation. It feels so good. And if you study cayenne pepper, and maybe if I have time, read a couple passages about the healing elements of cayenne pepper, it is a heart herb. I consider this a heart/depression tonic. The turmeric, this is a good combination. Cayenne pepper is going to clear your heart out. It's going to help your veins. It's going to help your blood. The turmeric is very good for the liver, and it's very good, in my opinion, it's pretty damn good for depression. I'm not saying if you're fucking bipolar or you got manic depression that drinking this drink is gonna fucking heal you up. But it is it's a damn good drink to drink to deal with the stresses of life, etc. Um, Another way you can take cayenne, take a little bit of it, put a little bit on the tip of your finger, and just put it on your tongue. Let it sit there as long as you can. Move it around your tongue. Put it on your gums, etc. Your teeth. It may not taste good to you when you start doing this. I get so many good flavors out of it now. It's like I'm eating. It's like it tastes like Mexican food. It's fucking delicious. But yeah, that's a damn good potion. My heart feels so warm right now. It's not a burn though. It's not like you're gonna drink this and it's gonna burn your insides. No. Maybe if you're consuming ghost pepper powder, that could really fuck you up. 1 million heat unit. This is a 10,000 to 15,000 heat unit. Most of the stuff from the store, supermarkets range from 5,000 to 25,000 heat units. Ghost peppers can be over 1 million heat units. So if you take a teaspoon of ghost pepper powder, you're fucked. Unless you're like a chili fucking one of those guys that eats chilies for like a living. He can eat fucking like the hottest things in the world, all those contest motherfuckers. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a cheap and very effective remedy. You know, if you're new to health, or even if you're into health right now, add this to your regimen. I personally love it. You know, some people might hate it. I don't know. I'm just sharing with you what works for me. What works for me may not work for you. Let me see if I can find a passage in Dick Quinn's volume Left for Dead. Okay, I'll go to the. I know where to find a good passage. Let's see here. My favorite cayenne right now is the African bird's eye cayenne, which ranges from, so list in here, yeah, 135 to 150,000 heat units. Then you have your habaneros that are usually 200 to 300,000 heat units. Those are fucking good for you too. If you can eat a habanero, eat one, especially if it's grown out of your garden. Okay, cayenne pepper. Cayenne, Latin name capsicum. This is on page 103. Cayenne, Latin name capsicum, has been used since the beginning of history in South and Central America as a culinary and medicinal herb. Cayenne comes from the fruit of the red pepper plant. This bright red fruit grows in warm tropical climates on small perennial shrubs that bloom with white flowers in late summer. Cayenne pepper is a fruit, much like a tomato. Many people consider it a herb, but it's not a fucking herb. Varieties of cayenne are cultivated all over the world. The strength and medicinal value range from the most powerful pepper grown in Sierra Leone, if I said that right, Africa, to the mild paprika enjoyed in Hungary. Cayenne, which takes its name from the Greek word meaning to bite, was introduced by Europe by Christopher Columbus. Ugh. Legend has it that Columbus discovered the pungent pepper growing on an island off French Guiana, later called Devil's Island. Not a big fan of Columbus. Although there is evidence that cayenne had been cultivated in South America and Africa for centuries, the rest of the world had to wait for their first taste until Columbus returned home in 1493. No reference to cayenne has been found in ancient Chinese, Greek, Hebrew, Latin, or Sanskrit. Interesting. I don't remember that part of the book. One of the most effective stimulants, cayenne targets the digestive and the circulatory system primarily. Cayenne regulates blood pressure, regulates the pulse, feeds the heart, lowers cholesterol, thins the blood, cleanses the circulatory system, heals ulcers, stops hemorrhaging, speeds healing of wounds. You can put cayenne pepper, if it's hot enough, on an open wound. If it's hot enough, the heat units will actually cauterize it. Rebuilds damaged tissues, eases congestion, aids digestion, regulates elimination, relieves arthritis and rheumatism, prevents the spread of infection, and numbs pain. It's also very good for headaches if you consume it properly. Remember, it needs to stay on the tongue. I could read more. In the circulatory system, cayenne helps the arteries, veins, and capillaries regain the elasticity of youth by feeding the cell structure. If you don't, I read this book and went, okay, is this true? Then I looked into Gabriel Cousens, what he had to say about it. Then I looked into multiple other alternative doctors, herbalists, Chinese herbalists, etc., and to verify the claims. And in my opinion, just consuming it has verified the claims. I've been consuming it for years. Cayenne helps equalize circulation by regulating the flow of blood from the head to the feet. Cayenne strengthens the pulse by increasing the power, not the frequency. Generally, cayenne boosts overall health of the entire cardiovascular system. Remember, the United States of the Matrix. This is the land of the walking dead. This is the land of heart disease. Do you want to be one of the people who succumbs to the horrible illness that is caused from a lack of caring for the body? Just get on your cayenne. Get on it, man. Work yourself up. Get a 5,000 to 25,000 heat unit cayenne, like I said. Start with a quarter teaspoon. Work your way up. Eventually, your heat tolerance will build up, and you can begin to move to stuff like the African bird's eye cayenne, then the habanero peppers, etc. Thai chili peppers, or Thai dragon chili peppers. Oh, there's so many peppers. Cayenne's ability to help lower cholesterol was first noticed during a routine experiment at the Central Food Technological Research Institute in Mysore, India. When scientists at the institute added cayenne to the high cholesterol diet the test animals were being fed, there was not the usual rise in serum and liver cholesterol. Instead, the cholesterol was being excreted. Cayenne prevents the absorption of cholesterol. Further studies showed that diet plays an integral part in the cayenne's ability to help the body shed excess cholesterol. Get the book. I'm not going to read all of it. Get it. If you're interested in cayenne pepper, if you don't want to read, many people don't like reading. Let's see here. I've got to plug my computer in really quick. I'm losing battery quick. All right, 1 second. So, just a short rant on cayenne pepper. Add it to salads. You can cook with it. You can drink it. You can eat it. Just the powder. So many things you can do with cayenne pepper. Good stuff. I don't know why it's not classified as a superfood. Because it is a superfood. It may not be packed with the mineral concentrations as something like DE not DE, spirulina or Phanesomonum blue-green algae. Phanesomonum flos aqua blue-green algae, It may not have all the minerals that shilajit has in it. It may not be as nutrient dense as kale, etc., raw kale juice, but it has the capsaicin in it, and it has the ability to literally cleanse the heart. And if that doesn't qualify, if a substance like that doesn't qualify as a superfood, then it is what it is. Is there anything else to say? If you have the time and patience and the money, you can grow your own cayenne peppers. Dry them, make them into a powder. You can eat them plain. Hair is bugging me. You can do a multitude of things with cayenne. And You know, you can even make it into an oil. You can make it into an oil, which is really effective because you can just put a drop or two on your tongue or under your tongue, right here, and it will get on the tongue and it'll send the healing information throughout the entire organism. So, trying to think if there's anything else I should add here before I call it quits. Nope. On that note, get yourself some cayenne pepper if you're interested. Get the fuck off dirty tap water. If you can afford it, get on a 12-ounce juice a day. If you can't afford it, drink 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 8 ounces or 8 glasses of juice a day. Start experimenting with superfoods. Stop eating white table salt. Get on Himalayan salt. Get on salt that has minerals in it, man. White table salt is devoid of anything healing. So I haven't eaten white table salt unless by accident at a restaurant, etc. for years. My family does not eat white table salt. That was one of the easiest ways. That is one of the easiest ways to begin getting healthier and to start being mineralized. Is get on salt, the right salt. Many people say, "Oh man, salt's hella bad, bro. It'll dry you out, bro." Yeah, if you eat the wrong fucking salt. What else? You know, just become fascinated with health if you can. There are so many distractions here in the matrix that, you know, you're programmed not to be uh, stimulated by real health, not fake fucking Western health. I'm not saying that the Western world doesn't have efficacy in healing. I'm just saying when it comes to nutrition, these dudes do not know what's up at all. And I don't know how these people can even consider themselves doctors when their dietary wisdom is totally in the gutter with the shit eater bottom feeders. But you know, I'm just throwing a couple tips out here for people who are interested. What else can you do? Get some crystals. Get some fucking crystals. You know, in today's world, everyone thinks that, oh, you fuck with crystals, you must be a hippie or something. I can't stand the term hippie. I don't even like hippies personally. I like intelligent, rational people who are interested in health and evolution, not a bunch of fucking hippies. And I'm not judging them. I'm just saying. Um, but yeah, there is a tendency for people to think that if you fuck with crystals, you're a hippie. But fuck them. Get some crystals and put them under your pillow and sleep with them. They are energy conductors. In today's world, in the Matrix, you're being hit from so much EMF and so much electronic pollution and all the dietary pollution that your spiritual tune, is down in the land of the bottom feeder. So to bring your tune back up, you need to eat things that will help you raise your tune. You need to do things that will help you raise your tune. Get on a fucking bicycle. A great way to enhance your exercise. Bike for 30 to 45 minutes to an hour. Get your sweat going. Go up some hills, and then take your cayenne pepper. That's my favorite way to do it. Get a little jar, put a cup or two of water in there, distilled water. Throw in maybe a tablespoon of cayenne pepper, and drink it while your heart's still beating hard. And whoo, man, that is totally uplifting. Um, I can feel my brain being stimulated by the cayenne. Most people say it's a heart herb. I believe it's a whole body herb, personally. Or not a herb, it's a fruit. It's a fucking fruit. You know what? If you eat standard American food, in my opinion, this is probably one of the best things that you can do to attempt to keep your health at bay, at a level status. Um, if you eat a standard American diet, your heart's going to be going through some serious fucking changes, and negative changes on that note. And many of the standard American foods, they have a tendency to put a lot of burden on the heart and clog the arteries, etc. And cayenne pepper is known to break apart the clogging in the circulatory system, etc. So get on some cayenne. Personally, I would, if I eat meat and all the other garbage, dead cow milk and all the other shit, I would take a teaspoon in water before I ate the shit, about 15 minutes before I ate the garbage, and then 15 minutes after I'm done eating the garbage. At least that way you're attempting to protect yourself from the shortcomings of eating a standard American Matrix, McDonald's fashioned whore food. And I don't mean to call it whore food, but when you look at it's the way that the many of these companies produce their foods, they don't have any integrity at all. And I consider that whorish. No integrity. So it is what it is. On that note, at 36 minutes, I wish you health and blessings on your journey here in this dimension, this physical dimension of sacred geometry, etc. And peace be with you.